Welcome to Gaia's rising harmonic field, a temple without walls, mapped by frequency and entered via resonance. Bring your light to the sacred well, and let us drink the waters of remembrance together.
Connecting with our amazing ally, frankincense, whose existence is retrieving not only the sunlight but the starlight from across all of the systems that pass by into this liquid light resin. So we ask to be infused with the fragrance and frequency of this starlight. Infused and held. And opened as channels to receive and transmit wants to be known now through this conversation. Is there anything you would like to say?
Yeah. I'm being reminded of a message I received where I'm looking at this vase, a sealed vase, and it tips over. It doesn't break, but when it tips over, all these dried herbs and flowers fall on the ground. And when I saw this, I heard that line, let the preserved flowers fall and the new ones bloom in your breath.
Bloom in your breath.
It's a transmission from the mother of creation. We can feel into that. However, feels good to you. Welcome here, Zofia. For anyone listening to us right now, Zofia is a ceremonialist, a priestess, an oracle sister, and I'm really excited to share this conversation with you. I want to begin first with just that drop in we had together, how I wasn't expecting you to speak. I thought we would just breathe together and tune in, and then you spoke, and I laughed a little internally because I feel, of course, like that's how it's supposed to be. And that energy, the mother of creation, came to me and showed me the vision that she showed me a few weeks ago. And it was my invitation to be reminded that in this session that we have together, I am holding this wide open invitation for you, and nothing needs to be controlled at all.
Oh my God.
Just let it all fall and let the preserved flowers fall and the new ones bloom in our breath. And that felt really safe in the good, like freedom, expansion, safe as in like, this is, what are we hiding from ever anymore?
Yeah, first of all, I'm just overjoyed. There's bubbles, effervescent bubbles of joy coming up because I feel so special to be here for this such a profound and prolific project. It's obviously more than a project, but this creation that I have been chosen by life through you, through Mother Earth, to be here for this. Like I feel special. I feel emotional. And because a, what an honor to be able to use our bodies as vessels, as stewards for this. And when you said there's nothing to be controlled, I actually was in ceremony today in the water. I have a pool in my home, in my backyard. And I literally, as I was communing with the water, I said, she said, the message was no more control. There's nothing to control. Release your grip and have deep trust in the currents and where they're taking you. And as that moved through me, I just felt this release in my belly, just this, all of this tension melt away, and it just felt so good and so safe and freeing, because the pressure is off to be with the small mind in all of the actions and decisions and things that you feel should be said. And that's why I just started smiling so widely, because I just feel like that was an immediate reflect back to what happened in the waters today. Yes.
I want to use your pool in ceremony. And I know I just labeled you as a ceremonialist, but it feels so natural. Your expression just so easily goes there.
Yeah. Yeah, something that just dropped in, I feel like I need to speak this. There was a storm, a thunderstorm at the weekend, and after it had passed, we went out, and there was this, on a main road, there was this huge old oak tree. It was huge, that had fallen right across the road. And I said to my children, I was like, do you want to stop and get out and take a look? And so we did. We parked on another road and walked over. And the person whose property had fallen from, she said, yes, it's hundreds of years old. It was huge. There were so many branches, and the trunk was just, it was so magnificent. And I couldn't not put my hands on her and be with her as the tree spirit moved back into oneness and create a ceremony, or be in ceremony with this tree. I couldn't not. And there were like other people were walking by or coming to see what was going on. There was me with my hands on the tree. I had to be with it as it transitioned on. It's just part of who I am, but it's not something that I think we all could be ceremony. I can't say the word now. Ceremonially, I can't say it. Ceremonially, I can't speak what I am, which is true, because it's not a label.
You're
What is
supposed to
it?
be it anyway, so it's good.
Yeah,
Okay.
a ceremonialist. There we go. A ceremonial. Anyway, whatever it is,
Yeah.
it's. I truly believe we can all hold ritual. I really do. I think it's part of, it's a primal part of our nature to
Yeah,
be in ritual. So if you are in ritual, how can you not know how to hold a ritual?
I feel like I agree with that mentally. And what I really want to say is that's been also my life experience. So when I've gone into areas later in life to understand ritual or ceremony,
Mm.
it just reflects what I did as a child or as a teen or whenever in flow. And but it's less restricted in my experience. There's a flow there. There's not control. There's no rules necessarily in the same way that a lot of other more rigid systems have rules and regulations around ceremony. And
Mm.
that's not to dismiss them. They're likely preserving something, whether that's a tradition or a frequency or a mindset. But I feel when I use the word ceremonialist, I can say couldn't say hierarchical earlier,
Yeah.
but ceremonialist. When I say that word, I am connecting into the energy of life as a moving prayer or a living prayer, like
Mm.
that that life is the initiation that we move through to remember oneness, to I guess to learn and understand what it means to be divine in form. And so when you talk about using our body and then we say using our body for this project, like project is such a business kind of word. And I also don't really know what else to call it. So we're just saying project for now. But when we talk about using our body for the project, the language that we use in its simplified form is it's holding space, I think, for a new way to communicate, which has less linearity and less boundaries. And that it is referencing the organic human technology, the entire body as a transmitter and a receiver of life force energy, of the divine, of all things. So when I am tuning into the word ceremonialist, I am really feeling into the expression of life as a living prayer, where life becomes the initiation, it becomes the ceremony, that our bodies are these vessels for create creative expression, for knowing, for experience. We get to be the divine in form in a unique way. And I think I also like the phrasing organic technology or
Yeah.
human technology. And I really started to come into using that language when I started to study human design and previously studying the Kabbalah and just understanding the channels and currents of energy and geometry. When we connect that with the microbiome, with biology, with the mitochondria, with so much like science that I feel is in like at least in my mind, there's really no separation from spirituality and science. It just really depends on your perspective and your ability to be open to arriving somewhere without pre-labeling it, like
Determining it.
determining what it is. Can we meet creation as creation? Can we meet life as life? And from there, what comes? And
Mm.
so when you're describing this moment of this magnificent tree and placing your hands on that. And that is ceremony, like moving through you
Yeah.
as a divine being,
Yeah.
understanding that there's an intelligence that is calling you to that. Or, and it's not even, it's an alignment. The intelligence within me is called to the
Mm.
intelligence within that. And in this moment, we are creating something, and it is on purpose, and it is needed, and it is a real, tangible form of elemental communion.
So exquisitely expressed, Sheena. Yeah. It was the call was so loud. I couldn't not. I couldn't not. We drove past once on the way to a place, and on the way back, I had to stop. And yeah, it was. It was. I've done that before when we've had storms here on the northeast, and there's so many trees here. It's really beautiful, and going on walks and seeing all of them fallen. Like I've done, gone and laid my hands on all of them and prayed. And yeah, I have a very strong connection with trees, and maybe it's that. But the older I have gotten, and the more of the layers of the onion I've peeled back, the more of that divine technology has come forward. And whereas before I wouldn't say I ignored it, but I just didn't, I didn't create the space for it. And now I have created a reality where I do have space, and through the peeling of these layers, there's so much there's so much more present of this particular, how would I regard myself, but this particular soul. And there's more in that presence. There's that invitation to really say yes and open my arms to the initiations of life. And it's initiation after initiation. That's when you welcome that more, this initiation that you spoke of earlier, it feels like initiation after initiation. One, the more that you welcome it, that in this moment, what I'm really, that has become so crystal clear through your insight, is that there's no breaks between initiation. It's just one big initiation.
Yeah.
I'm reveling in it more and more and enjoying it more and more. Then it can be intense.
Yeah. You get caught up in an undercurrent in the ocean, have to go with it. Otherwise, it's just going to be harder. Right. And I feel that with this theme of life as an initiation, there's more and more. It really, it does become more joyful.
Yeah.
I don't want to say less challenging because
No.
I'm not sure that's accurate.
Yeah.
But, but I do think that in my experience, we understand where the current is taking us more. And the process of being with it, how to, I guess, the beauty way comes up a lot for me. I think, like, where's the beauty in this moment? Not to bypass the challenge or to even gaslight myself, but there is tremendous glory in moments of challenge.
Yeah.
You have your holy surrender moments, and then that those moments are when you have the epiphany, the aha, the deep breath, and we lift the veil of separation from the inside out.
Yes. Yes.
which is different from looking around and saying, I want to, if we just talk about trees for a moment, like I, when I was younger, they looked so sparkly. And then there was a time when I was just not participating in that relationship. Like you said, you didn't ignore it. And so I wasn't ignoring, but I wasn't participating in tending to that relationship. And their sparkle kind of dimmed a little
Yeah.
and then a lot. And then when I realized that my life was better with that sparkle, that relationship was better for me, and I wanted to come back to it. I was looking from the outside in. Do I see it? What do I need to do? Do I need to meditate? Do I need to, what are the things that I need to do in order to see the auric field of this tree again, to see its life force energy? And I had this interesting experience where I was outside and it was like a big Douglas fir tree, and I just put my hands on it. Like you said, you just felt that call. I just put my hands on it. And I apologized for not being with it. I was like, I'm sorry for not like tending to this relationship.
Yeah.
And then I started to understand that its energy moves slower than my mind. And so I needed to connect with its current.
Yeah.
And so as I did that, I could feel its energy through my body. And that's what reignited the sight.
Yeah.
It was from the
Oh.
inside. I had to slow down. I had to stop looking outside. I had to remember that we are one.
Yeah. Yeah. That veil of separation then becomes really clear. You're bringing back memories for me of my relationship with trees. And yeah, I've lived in places for a long time and developed these connections. And not that I want a whole conversation to be about trees, but I guess they're wanting some
Yeah.
time here. But I've always, now that I'm reminiscing, and my parents' home that I lived in off and on for 40 years, my bedroom was in the backed onto the garden. We call it the garden in the UK, but you call it a backyard. So it wasn't like a vegetable garden. It was like a big backyard, and there were these hazelnut trees that were outside my window. And I remember when I left for the last time, I remember saying goodbye to them. It was just instinctual. And then later on, once I moved to the US and lived in a home and actually it was actually in that home. I'd love to speak about this actually. The backyard had a circle of trees, and I used to call them the guardians. And it was myself and two other sisters, soul sisters. We decided to start writing spells, and this was in 2010, so that was like 16 years ago. And we just used to get together. We'd go into the backyard, and then we'd like hold the trees, and we had no idea what we were doing, but we did. Obviously we did, but we didn't like.
Mhm.
And that was really the beginning of my journey of holding, I really don't like to say hold space anymore, but just being for some reason, the conductress, that name wants to come in, the conductress of gathering women together. And now I have a big community here in Philadelphia in person. I think we will have online communities, but here in Philadelphia. But that was such sweet, innocent beginnings. Just the three of us. I bought a book it was like leather with engraving, this hook lock, and we would speak the spells, and then I would write them down. And it was a really beautiful time of innocence, but then it just grew from there. And I remember when I moved out from that home, I sobbed and cried my eyes out because I didn't care about the house. It was the trees that I was going to miss so much. And then what's so remarkable and incredible is that then we moved to another house. And then I got divorced and I moved into my own home. And it turns out that my backyard is all wooded. It's actually the same woods that are connected to the trees in the house where I was in ceremony with them. And they feel like kin. It's like their family. They're all one family.
Yeah.
And when I realized that, I was so moved and just so happy because they were not just guardians, but my friends, felt like my family. This is one thing I wanted to say when you spoke about the veil of separation. Like when we receive these insights and these messages and we speak them, I really want to, I remind myself to just take this deep releasing breath and really be with what is here. And just let it like permeate and ripple out into the field. And give it its due course, I'll call it. Its journey, its ripple till it kind of dissipates. And just really tuning yourself to the recalibration in the field when that lands here in the ethers of earth.
Not to go against the message to not control, but I do feel like I should at some point have said to anybody who's driving to maybe not listen to this while you're driving because you can't really help yourself, right? Just like dropping us in.
Yeah,
the
like that's
moment
what I'm, yeah.
the moment you said take a deep breath, I was like, I understood that. Oh, here's an invitation. I need to honor that. And as I did, I'm seeing this like luminous like white fish with these like really big beautiful fins, almost just huge. I don't know what kind of fish that would be, but it's just swimming slowly. And as I was just acknowledging that vision, smiling, you said ripple. So perfect. But yeah.
That image as well of the fish, that's, you're so skilled at fusing someone's imagination with these incredible visuals. Really, like that fish to me, like really supports that cultivation. That right now, that's what I'm really cultivating in my life is this spaciousness around insights, knowings, wisdom, knowledge, downloads, and just letting them, like that fish, just open out its fins and that like translucent, rippling, undulating motion of that and the slowness. And yeah, that really is supportive.
It drops us from the language of riding the current to being in the current and being one with it, because the fish is surrounded by water and its ease and flow is and its entire support of life has to
Yeah,
be in the water.
yeah,
And I it's held and it's just the water sh- helps to shape its movement. And so what's coming to mind now, which is something that we've connected with one another a lot about, is water and memory. And if we consider for a moment that we are in this plasmic field, this water field of creation elements of everything all around us, then we are that fish in the current. And can we connect with what we breathe in as this memory? Like our breath is our ancestors in some way, but not just blood and bone ancestor, but ancestor of life, of element, of
Mm-hmm.
hydrogen, carbon, oxygen,
Mm. Yeah.
nitrogen, all of the
Yeah.
things.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, my mind immediately just goes into that is creation energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. It is. It's reminding me of Seren Bertrand's transmission I shared with you the other day, the mermaid, something or other, and she was talking about our ancestors and their memory and the events that happened and the events that have happened on Mother Earth, and that the time may have changed, but they haven't left, and the memories haven't left, and the imprints, they're still here. So we are in constant communion, whether we're conscious of it or not, with all of it in this plasma oceanic world of wonders.
Yeah, I think that I believe that there are places on Gaia right now where we can get a glimpse into those memories or breathe them in, feel them, remember them
Mm,
ourselves. I think it's everywhere, but there might be some places where it's collectively a little bit stronger. There might be some places that are going to be stronger for you in particular because of the memories that are meant to be remembered through
yeah.
you, your unique imprint, your codes or
Like
keys.
going to the Gobi Desert on my own because
Yeah.
I felt the calling.
Yeah. Yeah. This is in part what a lot of people are calling grid work
Mm,
is. But I also feel that some of this grid work has to do with our role as stewards
yeah.
and also our soul's unique Akashic field. Yeah.
And as you speak of that, I immediately thought of Harmonia rising, literally. And is there, that's not the question, where would you like to, I would love to know some of the places that you feel very strongly drawn to.
Yeah. I think that the places that I feel most strong to are are collectively powerful for many people and also personally. And I want to say that because the guidance for each of these locations is it is not led by me. I am I'm going where the calling is most aligned and trusting that the places that are calling to me the loudest, I will get there.
Yeah.
But my intuition, my sense, my body calls to be in certain locations very strongly. And when I've talked to you about this before, it to me it feels like there's a pilgrimage. There are maybe stepping stones to get to some of those places, and it is because of what is needed for Gaia, for our Earth councils, for our star councils, for humanity, for the children that are present with us now and the ones to come. There are a lot of guides for this project, as we call it. And so, just to at least name a couple, so I'm not being too vague, which is a habit of mine. I do feel very called to the places all around the Mediterranean, in particular places in Greece, in along the Iberian Peninsula, right?
Mm.
France, Avalon, we might call them, uh, farther north in Scotland. But that's not all. It's just those are loud for me.
Yeah.
And I think I can feel quite a lot of reasons for that, but also places here where I am right now, there's a lot happening here energetically with the planet. I have been just in awe so many times of being led to a place that I thought maybe I was just going on a hike for. And then I get there and there is a full on portal to some other dimension where it's, I cannot deny it. A place, particularly in the Bay Area, is one of the most beautiful experiences I've had. I thought I was just stopping by this cool rock with my son when he was 3 years old on our way home. And I arrived there, and suddenly my body is buzzing. Like,
Mm.
this was like similarly to, if anybody or you has like ever watched the Outlander series, when the main character Claire goes to these standing stones in Scotland, she hears this buzzing, and then suddenly she time warps. I and that is, obviously that's a show, but that is what it felt like. It felt like I heard humming and sounds and buzzings, and there were sparkles all around me. And when I softened at first I was like, what is happening? And then when I softened that worry, I like did a mental check. My son is
Mm.
okay. He's not too high up in the tree or whatever. Everything is okay. And so I softened my nervous system. I started to hear like women singing and cracking
Mm.
acorns. And I'm looking down at my feet, and there are mortars in the stone. And I'm hearing them talk, and I'm hearing them crack and grind.
Oh
And
my God.
and I thought for a moment, like, I want to go there. But like my son is too far away. There was like
Mm.
this like moment where it was like, I think this is what people talk about from like old fairy tales of even
Yes.
like King Arthur, right? Didn't he go into some fairy realm and to be healed and then came back, and it was like
Yes.
many years later? I realized to a lot of people that sounds fantastical, but
Yeah.
this was a real experience.
Mm.
It was
Yeah, I, of course, I believe it. And I think our body, like for me, my body is, the technology is in this body, and and so it leads me, it informs me. And I was at Machu Picchu. I've been there twice. And the first time I went, you have the famous spot with all the ruins, and then you can walk, you can take this trail up to a higher elevation, and it's called the Sun Gate. And that's the way that people come in if they do the 3 day 4 day trek. And we didn't do that at the time, we just traveled right to the point through by train. And there were so many tourists there. There was like Italian grandmas in their high heels with their purses
amazing.
coming up the. It was such a sight to see. I chuckled, and but on the way down, coming down from the Sungate back to the main site, I had this strong feeling in my body that I had to stop in this spot. There was this flat rock. It wasn't huge, but it was big enough to stand on, and it was to the edge. And I said to my husband, I said, we need to stop here. And I just walked out onto that to that ledge, and it wasn't really a ledge, but there was like a drop. I don't know how many thousands of feet, but it was like into this kind of valley. And I stood there, and all of a sudden I felt this spirit come, a huge spirit come up from the valley. And I say he because it had a very masculine energy to it. And it spread open my chest and my arms, and I literally felt like I was almost elevated with my arms wide open. It was definitely a heart opening gift, I'll call it. And there were people coming down, but I was right next to the trail. There wasn't much difference. My husband was embarrassed because there I was with my arms spread wide, exclaiming. And but I was called there to have
Yeah.
a clearing of the heart.
Yeah.
And there's just something that our bodies know. It's not from a mental thought process, and
It's not,
it's real, and it's real. You can't fake that.
yeah. No, you can't. No. And that would be performance and it wouldn't work. You wouldn't feel it and people would see through it. I don't, it's not that you're doing it to show, but you can't fake it. There are some things you can fake. You can't fake something. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've Machu Picchu, is that the,
the Mayan ruins in Peru.
yeah, yeah,
It's an interesting place because there's so many people coming through there. Yeah, I returned, and it wasn't by choice. My sister wanted to go, but there's other spots there. It's not really that where the main site is.
yeah, okay.
I believe, anyway. I don't. It's not. If I'm sure, if you tuned in and really shut everything out, yeah, of course you would. It's everywhere, but there's definitely some other spots that are not in the most obvious places.
Yeah, a lot of the guidance for Harmonia Rising has been that the locations we go, there will be a lot of sacred sites. Many of them are not known yet.
Yeah,
They need to
yeah,
be remembered.
yeah.
And also, many of these places were not they don't have a monument built on because many of these monuments are, we can just call it a monument, right? They have a function either for the people of that time or for the planet, the energy grid alignment mapping with the stars or something, but they have a function, and not all places have a three-dimensional function. Some are just for that interdimensional
Yes,
experience. And
yes.
I believe I have had an experience with that masculine energy that you're talking about. As I work with cacao, and for quite a while, I was specifically working with different beings from Peru by guided from different parts of the country. And then I continued, when I was working with it, I continued to feel this new energy wanting to come in that didn't feel quite as feminine. It felt
Mm,
a lot more masculine, and it was needing, not from me, but I there was an acknowledgement that it was present, and I needed to acknowledge it to
mm,
experience the support. I think it was there.
mm.
It was supportive. And it reminded me, you reminded of me of this when you were like, just arms spread out. So as I acknowledged it and I followed this vision that it was sharing with me, I was seeing Gaia differently, like the land differently, like perhaps where continents were less separated. And I was seeing this energy travel, and it was showing me different structures. And then I just heard the word Oaxaca. And I was like, okay, that's really interesting. And then probably a few days later, I received a package from a friend who is in the chocolate making business. And they had these beans from Oaxaca that they're not going to use. That place is there's a community there of indigenous people that have been cultivating these trees and tending to them for thousands of years. So anyway, these beans arrived to me and I thought, this is amazing.
Amazing.
And they're processed differently because beans are typically fermented, and the climate in the area of Mexico doesn't support fermentation. So you work with them differently. And I hadn't worked with them in this way. They actually were just absolute gems to work with and way easier for me as somebody who creates with by hand. But I then made some cacao for myself from these beans. And at first, I mixed them with the beans from Peru, and I felt a this new energy come in, and it very much felt like a marriage, like of masculine and feminine. And I'm not at all saying Peru's feminine and Mexico's masculine. That's not what I'm saying. I'm This is just
Yeah.
energetics of, in my experience with most things, but specifically cacao, that when I listen to it, there is a transmission that comes through, and it requires me to settle down and to be with it. It's not for me, it is not what am I going to get from this? For
Yeah.
me, it's like, how are we going to work together? That is my
Beautiful.
approach. And so anyway, then when I went to have these beans from Oaxaca by themselves, and maybe I shared this once with you, I saw this this masculine like being cut up in seven pieces and scattered all around the earth. And I was like, what is this? And then I immediately heard Osiris, the name, and it felt
Oh,
so
yes.
powerful and so strong, but so loving, so protective, supportive. It was unique, a very unique masculine energetic experience that I have had. And from there, a bunch of names came through, including, I don't know how to say it.
Quetzalcoatl, yeah.
I think I've heard it's a Koa because it's not Spanish, but I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so anyway, hearing that come through. And at this time, I didn't know anything about that being. And then later I researched that it was like known as the architect that brought cacao from
Oh my
Peru to
God.
Mexico. And what he was offering was like this message of, I am here too. Like Gaia, this planet, all of life on Earth that we see is the manifestation of union. It's not just feminine, it's not just
Yeah, yes,
masculine.
yes,
We are a union.
yes.
And it just, it didn't need anything from me. It just wanted to be present. It wanted to sit with me. But
Yes.
that feeling you had, like, that is exactly what it was. The energy was like, sit up straight, like, be in your power. And yeah, it was,
Oh, I wish. Do you have any more? I know this was a while ago. Can you
no,
make them again?
I can find them. I can buy them again.
The bees from Wakaka. How do you?
I'm sure I can. I'm sure if anybody is listening and knows, I prefer to purchase directly from people. And I think that there's, if it is aligned, there will be some will arrive somehow. Yeah. There's in the chocolate world, I'm telling you, there's something special.
Yeah. So many things came through as you were speaking, and I feel like there's a lot here. There's a lot that wants to be known, and I feel like we could talk for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say that when you were asking about for Harmonia, where do we want to go? This story that I just shared with you, this experience is how New Mexico came through, like how it started to arrive. And there's a whole story with that that I can probably share another time or in another
Yeah.
conversation, but
Yeah.
that is how it arrived. And this was probably a year ago. So it's not like a quick decision. It's a, I'm going to receive, I'm going to listen, I'm going to be with it, and I'm going to embody it.
It's been gestating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar
Pregnant
timing with the. Actually, I don't know if they were that close together, but the Ark of Us when that came through, and the summer. I think it was early summer,
last year.
maybe. Yeah,
I think it
maybe. Yeah,
was
yeah. It
very
was.
similar timing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That and there is. They are interlinked.
Mm.
Just going back to what you were saying about these places on Earth that are not marked by monuments and not yet known. And I believe of myself and you and whomever is stepping forward as a part of Harmonia Rising, know, even if it's not conscious, they know where these places are.
Yeah.
And it's a it's part of our soul mission, and it's not necessarily it comes when it's time. I'm even thinking about when I was in Sedona and earlier this year, and I had the experience on the rock when I lay on the rock and I communed with it, and it showed me such beauty of the origins of us and who we are. And it was just, I was exalted by what I was shown by this rock. And it was a lot. That's why I'm taking the deep breath as I connect in again with that. And it was an activation, it was an awakening for me, but it was also the waking up of this dormant stone who had probably been sitting there for I don't know how many hundreds of years, maybe more, with no humans communing with it. And in that moment, it was a waking up of that dormant being, that place that
Yeah.
is to come for the people of Harmonia Rising.
Yes. Stones hold memory like water.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that moment. It was truly so beautiful. It's not even the right word for it. There is no words.
I understand. I feel that this is coming to one of the most beautiful aspects. I feel that the Harmonia Rising retreats will offer people is a communion with one another and nature, where we can engage in these true storytellings. And I feel that when we do that organically and we allow people of all ages to be a part of that, we bring our little piece of a puzzle and
Mm,
we connect into this larger, grander vision.
yeah.
And um,
Yeah, if
it's
I could just
beautiful.
add that piece, because I didn't, I eliminated this as, like, I didn't really tell the full story, but with this rock, I didn't just lay on it and ask. I sang to it. I put my lips to it and hummed and rumbled my lips. And it, yeah, and then it was through that process of being with it. And so, yeah, our storytelling are these little pieces that then we become one and inform one another of
Yeah.
the ways.
The the harmonic field of creation, as I'm like seeing it, as a dimensional shift that we,
Mm,
or vibrational shift that we
mm,
can be in rather than one location or another. It's a vibrational shift. And it really only asks us to meet creation in that space. And so the example I shared with putting my hands on the tree and apologizing for not being present in that relationship, or you laying womb to stone and singing to a rock, is that is meeting it.
Yeah.
That's what that means. There isn't one way to do that.
Yes, exactly.
Not in our doing mind, right? There isn't one way to do that.
Yeah. 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 And then it inspires. Hearing each other's stories inspire as well our own ways of wanting to
Yeah.
be with it.
I think a lot of times for us adults, we have to soften.
Yeah.
But when we witness children, they
Yeah.
play. They
Yeah.
get, sometimes they're soft and quiet, but a lot of times it looks like climbing a tree and just being in awe about how high they can climb.
Yeah.
Look at them going out on this thin little branch or splashing in a
Mm.
river. It's that energy too. So it's, I feel really excited
Mm.
for what will show up for us. And I feel excited to have such a natural ceremonialist like you, treasure to, and I think that you will show up perfectly as you need, but as I've already glimpsed into some of these experiences, I see you so perfectly just creating that bridge for all of us, that in a collective way, creating this
Mm.
like collective bridge of we are we're, we're coming from this one experience and we're headed into this other experience, and that journey that we go on to get there is something grander, but it's also happening through presence right now
Mm.
in
Mm.
this moment. And it is the best example I can give right now is just even in this conversation where we're just talking about stuff and then suddenly you say, take a deep breath. And I'm already there and visions are coming through. And we didn't plan that. And I didn't ask you to do that. And you didn't ask to do it, but it happened because
Yeah.
it's what needed to happen. It was the
Yeah.
current. The current brought
Mm.
us there.
Yeah, and I also I feel it very much in my body. Like my body is is my greatest ally and informer, and that's my steward. My body is my steward. Yeah, and I really love to bring people back to their body in such a tender and gentle and sensual way, just this innocent sensuality. And because when you do and you slow everything down and you just come to this moment, so much can just naturally, effortlessly, without having to try, just fall away. Then this forcing and this effort. So that's my love. My love is to bring people here into this moment with their bodies, in with reverence for us as such sensitive, sentient beings. Our true nature is exquisite sensitivity.
I feel that we're just really just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
It's on purpose, that sensitivity. It is a
Mm,
gift.
it's a gift. Oh, I just feel it. I feel it in. I think there's a lot of grief there, actually, if I'm honest. I feel it all here in my throat. This grief of it not being honored, protected, kept safe, treasured, encouraged. And we have this opportunity now with our children.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Which as women, it is we have been going through a huge transformation within our nervous systems. Um, to have conditioning and programming and do the thing anyway, right? There's like an expansion that happens, and it's not always easy, can create a lot of anxiety, I think, for a lot of mothers. And I have felt in my experience that some of that anxiety is really more about having so much more life force energy and needing the nervous system to be able to channel that. It
Mm,
needs to go through this transformation. It needs to become the butterfly.
yeah,
It has to, because
yeah,
we are meant to be powerful. And of course, as they say, with power comes great responsibility.
yeah,
So we must, initiations are important.
yeah. Through the initiations, you have the maturation that's
Yes.
required because you're able to take on that responsibility when you feel like you've earned your stripes. I wish there was another expression
Yeah.
that's not related to war, but yeah, that. And I honestly feel like where I am in my life, I feel like entering my matriarch phase. I'm in very late perimenopause, and I'm not saying that I've had more initiations than someone else who's younger than me, but that breadth of this spectrum feels so in me, like lived experience that takes tremendous amount of fortitude to live through that. These decades as an adult, and it gets to a point where you feel like, yeah, that's I can do this. Like I've been through a lot, and it's almost like that's the next phase anyway, the responsibility that comes with it.
Yeah. As you're describing that, I'm just thinking of how we as children learn to walk, and it just takes time, and we have to fall and to know that's okay. And then when we get strong enough to be able to move up and down steps or carry things, there's a responsibility in that. We can't hold something in our hands as we're walking and then drop it,
Mm,
and then blame the thing that falls on our foot for hurting our foot. That
yeah,
is natural consequence of dropping something on your foot, and it's okay. We just move forward. Or even a tree, when it's young and there's an early cold front, that can damage the tree, but if it's
mm,
older, it can handle it.
yeah, yeah. That's yes. That's you've
It's
done it
nature.
again with your visual. I love that. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Another breath.
another
Just
breath.
with that. Just with that. Mm, mm,
There really is so much support here.
mm,
I'm so grateful.
mm. Me too.
And I don't know how to say it. I don't want to use the word excited again, but there is a, if there's a word out there that somebody can tell me that has joy and gratitude and this kind of excitement, this
Effervescence is my word
effervescence. I love it.
of the
It's
day.
an effervescence that I want to just infuse into this conversation as we close it for now, and just speak gratitude to you. I'm thankful, so grateful to know you, to experience your energy. And I am very excited to be in person again
Yes.
and listen to Gaia together,
Yeah. Oh.
listen to the children together, listen to our elders together, just listen to the transmission that is alive in that space
Mm.
with our bodies together. And I'm really excited for that. So thank you.
Yes.
And if there's anything else you want to say, now is the time.
I feel that effervescence and this bubbling up of joy and gratitude and just such luck, such blessing to have life lead us to this moment and this creation, and to be together listening, as you said, to Gaia and to the children and to our elders, and to witness ourselves as well in that. It is such a, I'm imagining a spatula of melted chocolate and just licking that spatula of
And you'll get to,
deliciousness.
because we will make
Yes,
cacao over there. So
I
you'll
was
get to.
hoping you would say that.
Of course. That is, I am so excited to be sharing how to do that with everyone. And yeah, we'll just make sure everybody gets a spoon of
Yes, because everyone always wants a spoon of it. That's what it feels like. Just everything that's coming, that's about to unfold with this gathering in New Mexico is just, I couldn't have asked for the most sweetest dream to be real. It is real, it's happening. So thank you. Thank you, Sheena.
you. I have to say one more thing because we
Yeah.
talked about the chocolate and the spoon of chocolate. One of my favorite things to do at the end of creating a batch, there's always some left over in the grinder. I love putting it on my face. It,
Really?
oh, because the cocoa butter, it's so
Yeah.
soft. And
Oh my
so
God.
I I'm just now I haven't shared this with anyone yet, but I feel really excited to be able to mix this cacao with freshly made. It's warm. You can mix it with
Mm.
a little honey. This is welcome to everybody, but I think the women will especially love it. I can imagine a man trying to wash it out of his beard, but for the women, just having
Mm.
it on your face, and then when
Mm.
you wash it off, it feels so soft.
Oh, I didn't even know that people do that.
I
Is it just you?
I
Could
can't,
be.
of people who make chocolate, I am sure there's got to be other people that do it. But
Mm.
no, I don't know that this is a traditional thing. This is just me
Oh
understanding
my
that this is
God.
loaded with cocoa butter one
Oh
day
my
and my skin is dry. And so I'm like, here we
God. Mm.
go.
My taste
Yeah.
buds already, even though it's just going on my face, the thought of it, the smell, oh my gosh, what a decadent, like
Yeah.
just embodied, delicious experience. I can't wait.
Yeah. It's great. It's going to be great. And that way we don't waste a single drop
Yeah.
washing out of the machine. All of
Mm.
it will be used.
I can't wait now.
Yay.
Even more excited.
Okay.
Thank you for this time together. It's always so nourishing with you, Sheena. Thank you.
Thank you as well. I love you. We stayed on track today. It's really great.
Yeah. I love you. I'm grateful for all of this. I really am.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your light. Thank you for your presence. If this conversation resonated within your heart song, please reach out to us. We want to know you. We want to create with you. We want to be in harmonic communion. We love you, and we'll see you soon.